Hey guys, welcome to the end of day 11 of my carnivore journey. Start down with the first 90 days, and like I said, you're at the end of day 11. So, again, this is my diary. I'm just recording everything that I eat, how I feel, the journey along the way. So, I gotta say, today was really a big potty day. I know we get into some details. So if you're a little squeamish about some things, I'm trying to keep it as clean as possible. But I didn't have to go in the morning. I sat on the potty just in case. I felt like I was like, I don't know if I feel like I need to. But I was trying to make sure before I went to work. I didn't want to have like, oh God, I gotta go at work. I think it was like right around 7:30. I was running a little late tonight with getting home and getting situated. And around 7:30, I went to go make dinner, and I had to go. And I went, and it was pretty normal. Just again, I'm trying to give you guys an idea, like pretty normal, a pretty good amount. I was like, okay. And then I left, and then I was making some dinner, and sort of in between things, I had to go again. But it was like really quick. And this time it was a little more diarrhea-ish. Like, okay. And then I ate dinner. And then again, like I told you, shortly after dinner, I had to go. And then it was just like diarrhea. This was like, again, more amount, I should say, than the other days. Other days a lot smaller. This was a big potty day, basically. Like, trust me, there was a lot more going potty. I'm trying to say the word potty. All right, I know it could be a little. I mean, I want to say poop, and like trying to keep it. I'm trying to keep it okay. I'm trying to keep it kind of classy, maybe. Anyways, starting tomorrow on day 12, I may just try to not have any type of like tea or coffee or anything. I may just see if that is what's causing it. And if things kind of clear up and go somewhat normal, then I'll definitely know. So I may wait, and I might hold off on the tea. I don't know. At least for a few days, see what happens. See if because it's been pretty consistent, the diarrhea at night. Again, normal and then diarrhea. And then today was like a lot. And then a few times in between, and then the diarrhea, like the major diarrhea. Okay, so how did I feel today? About 3:30, I noted the time. I guess I should backtrack, and that's the other thing too. See, I did because I do these videos at like usually 8:30, 9 o'clock, somewhere there. There's still the rest of my day in a way. So I always like to kind of start and tell you if there was anything significant from the previous night, basically the night of the 10th day. I did end up having a cup of coffee, black coffee, around like midnight because I was on the road for my job, and then I ended up getting to bed about 3:30 a.m. Sleep wise, pretty good. I'm starting to have more dreams now. I'm starting to get a little bit of a deeper sleep, I think. I'm starting to dream more. But around 3:30, I actually, my stomach, and I heard some gurgling and churning, and it was almost like hunger. So I don't know if I was like getting that kind of hunger growl, because I haven't really had a hunger growl in a while. But it was a few churns, and I was sitting there going, man, I'm actually a little hungry at 3:30. It kind of makes sense a little bit, because if you look at what I had the day before, I kind of didn't have as much meat and stuff. And I don't know if I had the quantities I needed, even though I ate until I didn't really want to eat anymore. But I didn't have anything to snack on. Sorry, I hit the microphone again. And I just drank some water, drank some ice water, and it went away. It went away, and then I felt pretty solid again. So I guess my advice is if you do get a hunger pain in the middle of the day or something, or like some growling or something, like don't stress. It's just a chemical reaction in your stomach. Like it'll pass, and then you'll feel good again. or drink some water. Have some water with you. I did. I went by the store around say 6:30 ish. Picked up stuff for dinner, like a few little supplies. Um, and I got another one of the 100% beef stick. I got one of those just to tide me over, because I was starting to get hungry again a little bit. It's about that time. And so I got one of those, went home, and what I did was I actually had a lot of leftovers. So I had some of that ground beef and cheese that I had left over that I told you about with where I made the mac and cheese for my family, but I made the homemade cheese sauce and I put it on the meat. Well, I had some of that meat left over. Probably I would say, if I had to guesstimate, about the size of a hamburger patty. But it was ground up. So I warmed that up. I also there was 3 hot dogs left over. So I took those 3, heated the hot dogs up. And then I had those 2 round, flat, like almost like omelet. I told you I made them like they're like egg and cheese. And I saved the 2 of them in saran wrap and put them in the fridge. Well, I heated those up just a little bit and cut those in half like I told you I would. And man, then they worked perfect for a little like almost like a hot dog taco or like a bun. So I had those. That's 2 eggs worth. So I had like 2 eggs, 3 hot dogs, a hamburger patty, basically, little teeny bit of cheese in there, and then of course the cheese in the eggs. 2 butter bites and bacon. So the bacon, I had like 3 pieces for dinner because I had 3 pieces left in my Tupperware container. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and eat those 3 because I don't have as much like beef. I have the hot dog, so I'm like, I better go ahead. So I had the 3 bacon, and then after dinner, while I was cleaning up, my family had like 3 boxes of like Little Debbie stuff, and it was like, oh wow. So I just got my butter bites. I had 2 butter bites, and I was fine. I'm like, okay, that was my little dessert. But tonight is my night off from my second job. So what I did was I spent um, a little extra time and I baked 2 packages of bacon. Baked them in the oven, got them where I wanted them, crispy wise, and put them in my Tupperware container. I refilled up a new container. So I should be good to go for hopefully a week and a half or something, or it depends how much bacon I end up eating. But I should be good for a little bit. Which brings me to another point. I think one thing it's starting to help me is being prepared. I think that's something that maybe by now, if you're following along, and if you're also like right behind me, like day 10, day 9, or something like that, maybe you already known this, or maybe never thought about it. Maybe but being prepped really has been helping me. Just having that bacon, having some butter bites, having some of that things there, so when you do have some cravings, you can just hit up a piece of bacon, you can hit up a butter bite, and it's not going to hurt you. So that's definitely a thing. And then also having ground meat in portions ready to go. So that helps for when my family wants to have something different for dinner that is not even carnivore related. So I can just whip out that portion, ground that up, and throw some eggs. Of course, having eggs on hand, having meat, eggs, butter, that's in the bacon. Really having all that on hand really does help when you're in those binds. And if you are really desperate, most people have a McDonald's nearby, and one thing you can do is you tell them when you go there, you tell them that you want to order off the a la carte menu, and that you want to get however many quarter pounder patties that you want. Just tell them you just want the like 4, 6, 7, however many you eat. I'd probably just get like 3 or 4. But you can tell them, hey, can I just get like 3 quarter-pounder patties or whatever, and just tell them you can stack them in a container, and they'll box them up for you. It's usually not a lot of cost. Cost wise, it's pretty decent, or it's not too bad. But they'll just have the beefs, and McDonald's has actually, believe it or not, they have 100% beef, patties, believe it or not. So that's so if you're like in a bind and your family's like, hey, we got no time to cook, and you're just like, oh my god, what am I gonna eat? And they're just like, pick up McDonald's or pick up whatever fast food. If you're in town and you're near the McDonald's, you may have to make a little special trip. I mean, you probably could do some things at other places, but most of the fast food is near a McDonald's that I go to. So it's like, you know, if they want Arby's or something, I can pick up Arby's and then go right next door to McDonald's, and I'll swing through there, get a couple of the beef patties for myself, and at least they'll tide you over. It's going to be beef. You can eat them. There you go. Uh, so I think, did I cover everything? Okay, so dinner, I think I covered everything for dinner. So again, I kind of had some leftovers with those egg tortillas, hot dogs, beef. So it gave me some eggs and whatnot. And but tomorrow I'll probably, since I don't really have any more leftovers, I'm probably gonna go back to beef, bacon, eggs, butter. Probably ground me up or make them into patties or something. Depends what I feel like, and I'll probably have that tomorrow. Um, and I did have unsweet tea during dinner, but I'm going to probably hold off for the next couple days just so we can see. We, as in, sometimes we're in this together, right? But so I can see whether or not that is going to affect the diarrhea situation. But other than that, I feel pretty good. Feel pretty solid. I think there is times I am getting a little more clarity. I don't feel as fog brained. I think the fog is slowly starting to lift a little bit. Let's see, what else have I noticed? There may have been something else, but if I think about it, I'll try to remember. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna keep it short. Again, just wanted to document how I felt today, the big potty day, and I'm just gonna keep pressing on, man. So we'll see you tomorrow. I'm not giving up.